attack by Germany in the 1930s made the Soviet Union particularly worried about the security of Leningrad. When the Soviet Union obtained bases in other Baltic countries, Finland also received an invitation to negotiations in Moscow. Finland did not accept the territorial demands of the Soviet Union. Simultaneously in Finland, additional military exercises were arranged. In November 1939, the Soviet Union provoked Finland with the Mainila incident and cancelled the non-aggression agreement between the countries. On 30th of November 1939, the Soviet Union crossed the Finnish border. The war, which history knows as the Finnish Winter War, had begun. In the initial stages of the war, Finland achieved significant victories over an overwhelming enemy. The so-called Winter War spirit was born. At the beginning of 1940, the Soviet Union tried to achieve a solution with a large-scale attack of 1 million men in southern Karelia. When the Winter War ended, on 13th March 1940, Finland had to submit to considerable territorial losses. Over 400,000 persons were evacuated from the areas. On both sides, total losses were heavy. One of the most significant battles of the Winter War took place here. If the Soviet forces had succeeded in their objective to cut Finland in two, perhaps the whole European map would have been drawn differently when the war ended. On the morning of the last day of November 1939, the Soviet 163rd Division crossed the border at Suomussalmi, with the objective of the center of the Suomussalmi village, and from there, the roads leading south and west as far as Oulu. There was only a handful of Finns to meet the enemy forces. The Soviet division did indeed reach the center of the village of Suomussalmi. The Finns burned the village when they retreated at the beginning of December in order that the Red Army would not get the shelter they needed for their troops and equipment in the village. The commander of the Finnish forces was called Hjalmar Silasvuo. He commenced rapid counter-operations to recover the lost village center. The ferocious attack, which was started after Christmas, led to the panic-stricken retreat of the Soviet division along the Chianti Lake towards the border. Few enemy strong points remained, and they were crushed in a few days. The greater part of the enormous amount of equipment of the Soviet division remained for the Finns. At the same time, the Ukrainian 44th Division crossed the border from the direction of Raatteen Road. Colonel Silasvuo split his division into 4 sections, which attacked the Raatteen Road from the south at Haukila, Tyynelä, Likoharju and Raate. The Ukrainian division was chopped into sections and destroyed on the Raatteen Road. The war booty and troop losses were extremely great. The repulse victories of Suomussalmi were the result of the effective use of the land by troops at home in the conditions, fighting spirit and efficient leadership despite the lack of material. The Finnish winter was strange and frightening to the Ukrainian division, which had come from a war incursion into Poland. The sub-zero temperatures approached minus 40 degrees centigrade. The fighting spirit of the Red Army was breaking.